As they say, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Right? And all through the house. Some theories say that this whole earth is a house that we're in. And what we're calling the atmosphere is a vaulted ceiling. What they call the firmament. If you're standing on the other side of that, up higher, you will be standing on what will be called the glassy sea. The sparkles are probably coming from the stars that are probably beneath you, or whatever the case. The mouse is important in the realm of magic. In this world of magic now that we're in. We crossed over into the magic kingdom. You can see the reverberations happening at Disney. It's a lot of turbulence going on in regards to that area and that park. The shaking is affecting the whole world. There's a major shaking. And in this shaking, it's the creeping things that stand the test of time. The smaller items, the smaller insects, the creatures that scurry along the ground, right? The low ones, the bottom feeders, the ones that are on the lower rungs of society, right? When they had in the movie The Day After Tomorrow, it was the guy who was on the streets who had more knowledge of how to survive an imminent disaster. It was the guy who was already outside already and had enough wits to take care of a dog while he was at it. He was the mouse. And all the characters is Mickey Mouse who works the magic. When they say that a person, all forbid, has had their drink laced, they call that lacing a Mickey. Somebody slipped the person a Mickey. Mickey Mouse, World of Illusion, Castle of Illusion. In the original It, Part 1, the kids were saying, are we men or are we mice? One voice they thunder, we're mice. You have to be the smaller guy now. The bigger you are, the bigger the target. Now it's fortune favoring the less famous. While the book of fortune typically gets paraded around the famous, it really belongs to the obscure. Right, the ones who's controlling it, who's making the lion's share of it, are not visible. Hence the mice. You can't even hear a mouse move. You can hear rats. That's a different thing. We're not talking about rats. Rats and mice, although both are rodents, they're not of the same species. A mouse is not under the same genus as a marsupial being of the rat. It's not the rat. It's Mickey Mouse. It's about the mice. The mice are the ones that are known for getting out of the traps. You have Tom and Jerry, right? A mouse that's already on the scene to get away from and make a fool of who, of all people? The cat. The cat, one of the main objects of magic and one of the highest ranking totem animals in the spirit world in Egyptian folklore. The cat. But it's the mouse who constantly outsmarts the cat. It's Tom and Jerry. I believe Jerry's the mouse and Tom is the cat. So in the chase, it's the mouse who's leading the chase. The cat is trying to catch the mouse. You're using your magic to try to catch the position of the hidden. As the cat, you're sprawling, landing on all fours, planning your pounce, laying in wait in ambush to catch the version of you that is to be the mouse, the controller, the one behind the scenes, the one who just can disappear into a wall, the one whose footsteps can't be heard, whether they're running or walking or stomping or leaping. Their footsteps cannot be heard. The mouse. Then you have Speedy Gonzalez, another mouse. So you have speed now. Now you're adding speed to the mouse. The mouse is also fast. And it's the speed of the hidden hand. It's the speed of being the little guy. It's your speed that makes you a superhero. That's the lesson behind Speedy Gonzalez. And this is a foreign concept, which is why he's foreign. He's of Latin ethnicity. The way his expressions are. Speedy Gonzalez. It means that the strongest weapon you have when you're the little guy is to be what? Quick. To work fast, to work speedy. If you're the little guy, you don't have a big production company, you don't have a studio, you don't have a whole bunch of people to sign that have to sign off, that you got to get things signed off with. You don't have to schedule that day. You don't have to worry about different bookings that might interfere. You don't have to worry about an entire label. You don't have to worry about where you are in the pecking order of a 360 deal. You don't have to worry about where you're going to be, how you're coming next, how you're coming up, what you're going to get, how long is this event's going to last, whether or not the album's going to sell, whether or not the album's going to shelve. When you're the big guy, you're a big target. When you're the big guy, it's all of this hype $1 million deal and the person flopped. And when they bring in the band, when they bring in the in-house band, you realize that it ain't the same as your boy around the corner that was giving you that piff in the studio. Yeah, it didn't have the same quality, but it was knocking twice as hard. And that was really your sound. But instead, you adjusted to something that's slightly R&B when you came from the most grungiest of the boom bap. This could be your story if you become the big guy, if you become the cat in this dispensation instead of the mouse. Now, we have lessons about the cat that we could get into in another video, but for the sake of understanding the mouse, we'll discuss this magic kingdom we're in, and the fact that it's Mickey, the mouse, who rules this magic kingdom of illusion. So you have to navigate with speed. You're not rushing, but the speed is where you're making up for not having power, not having the representation. So you're out repping them. While all of this is going on, you can drop video after video, song after song. While all of this is going on, you're ready. You're already dropping. They can't just drop how they want. They gotta now they're under the conditions of what makes them big. What makes them big? See, it works like a charge card. You have to work your way backwards with a charge card. It's swipe 2 million followers, swipe $2 million sign-up bonus. That's the swipe right there. And what happens after the swipe? You have to start making it back now. You have to start making it back. Because it's not yours. You're not signing to make $2 million. That's not how that works. They're going to make you a cat or a dog. They're not going to make you a mouse. If you want fame, that has everything to do with not being a mouse, being big, not being small, being slow, not having speed. Instead of you being able to really fulfill your passion and drop once a month, now you can only drop once every 2 years. And you can't drop music on the side. In a lot of cases, this is how this works. Giving you a music analogy, you can translate this to other stuff, right? Working hourly versus working salary. Once you work salary, you signed on for what you signed for. You signed on to get $60,000 a year. So, if they need you, they can squeeze $75,000 out of you, $75,000 a year worth of work out of you, because you signed for one figure. You signed for that. Versus if you're working per hour, yeah, you don't see the big figure, but you got to factor in overtime when overtime comes. You got to factor in raises. You'll eventually make more if you stay. You might get promoted, but in that promotion, the temptation for a salary might come up. I'm not saying the salary is a bad thing, but understand the playing field. Understand that you might be better off as a mouse. You might be better off as a mouse. Think about it like this. Even if we're looking at this from the lens of the scientific and psychological community in the old rough experimentation days, Schrodinger's cat, right? The cat was obliterated, destroyed. You know what I mean? The cat was taken out. But mice/rats, they're put in controlled environments where in some instances they're just pressing the lever. Token economy, modified behavior through a reward system. Positive responses, conditioned reinforcement. Right now, the number one weapon is stimulation. Morpheus told you, is about set and setting. That's what it's about. It's about set and setting. You see the set. Now, can you apply the setting? Wild example. If you're out on the beach, summertime, 85, 90 degrees, you're not going out there with a winter coat on. Set and setting. This happens though if you don't understand the times you're in. It can be just as, it could be just as different. It could be just as vast as wearing winter gear in the middle of summer on a beach. Just not having the ages correctly. To say, I'm going to be macho, and it's about macho and a macho day. You come around with some of the macho-ness that was allowed 25, 30 years ago in society. It could be the same stuff that can get you locked up on the other side of the year 2000, with 2 dub pluses in. 24 years in. Only 4 years away from the 100-year anniversary of the Great Depression. We're only 100 years from that. It takes more than 100 years to recover from a crash. It takes more than 100 years. Maybe the idea of us bouncing back, maybe that was an illusion. Maybe we never really bounced back, because that's extremely hard to do. I mean, maybe it would have been possible had we created cell phones in the 30s to kind of balance that out. But then again, you did have major industries going on, so I could see the possibility too now that I look at that, how many industries were up, running and strong going into that. Steel was a big commodity. You had oil. A lot of them were not all the way behind the scenes yet. So again, Super T Sigma programming. Stay illuminated, know how to be the little guy, because that's the one who comes up big in this new time. Peace.